red. Huh? 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 Mm-mm. This book. That files is the Trump and me. Start reading. Has anything ever talked to you that wasn't a person? Out loud, I mean. The two things have talked to me so far. A cat and a turnip. Then, like when I was in Florida, the two dolphins talked to me, but that was by ESP and not aloud. So it doesn't count. The cat who talked to me was in an animal shelter in New York. He turned out to be my great grandfather, Mercedes, who died and came back here as a cat. The Trump I'll tell you about in a minute. But first, I should say who I am and all that stuff. Okay, my name is Zach. I'm 10 and a half, and I go to the Horace High White School for Boys. That's in New York City. By the way, my mom and my dad are divorced, and I spend a healthy time with each of them. I was in my dad's apartment when the thing with the drum started. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was really hungry. Dad had been on a real health kick on the past week. Just that day he was gone and bought a whole lot of vegetables. Some of the vegetables were ones that hadn't even seen before. I'm not crazy about vegetables. If you want to know the truth, especially a kind that bites, I think I'm too old to try getting used to vegetables that I hadn't even seen before. Dinner was great hamburger, a sauerkraut salad, and carrots. I was stirred for the real food. A couple of chocolate chip cookies and a bottle for dear pepper was I wanted. I stepped out my room and into the chocolate chip cookies. I didn't care if they were healthy. I have plenty of time to be healthy when I'm old. I got the cookies. Then I opened the refrigerator door to get the food on. That's when I heard it singing from inside of the vegetable bin. It kind of freaked me out. If you want to know the truth, I mean, unless the thing you want to hear coming from inside your vegetable bin is singing. The song coming from the vegetable bin was, "You ain't nothing but a homestead." How could something smell enough to fit inside the vegetable bin singing anything? I had to find out what it was. But instead of opening the vegetable bin, I closed the refrigerator door. I went. I wasn't afraid to see what it was. I just wasn't ready yet. Sometimes, if you were going to do something like find out what's in your vegetable bin singing, you ain't nothing but a hundred. You have to kind of ease into it. You don't want to rush it. If you rush it, you might scare whatever it is the singing. You wouldn't do that. If you scare the wild animal, it might attack you, especially if it's doing something like singing. You ain't nothing but a hunter. I didn't know what to do. A part of me really wanted to see what it was. A part of me he didn't want to scare it. What could I do if it attacked me? What could I use to this myself? I turned to the kitchen light. I noticed a large frying pan hanging on the wall. I picked it up and skated back to the refrigerator. Slowly. I opened the refrigerator door. Slowly. I slid open the vegetable bin. The signal was louder than ever, but there was nothing in the vegetable bin except vegetables, tomatoes, carrots, celery, and shrimp, and some I didn't even know the names of. I realized something. The singing was coming from the turnip. I slowly reached it down and picked it up. It stopped singing and scared me. I dropped it like a hot potato or a cold turnip. I scared, I screamed too. So we both screaming, me and Drumstick. I stood the first banner out of closet, got to show my life. The first red seemed to have a face. One looked like two grumpy nose and grumpy mouth. It also had one looked like a dog hair combing back and a long sideburns. The lips of its thin mouth were very full. The top lip looked higher on one side than other side. The lip looked like they were singing. Drum looked actually like live Presley. Chapter 2. The Dumbledore papers in the supermarket were right. Elvis had come back from the dead as a, as a turnip, and he was hanging in my dad's vegetable bed. The turnip had come down by now, so I picked up from the kitchen floor. Mercy, said Turnip, who are you? My name's Sam, I answered. Who are you? Of course, Floss call me the little Dingson, said the Turnip, but answered to the name of Lips. Why are you by the vegetable bin? Because I'm a vegetable now. That's where a vegetable takes care of business. Before you friends, where you were famous singer. Never before for a drumstick. I was just a little old drumstick sitting tennis. You mean you're not live personally come back to the dead? No, son, I'm an oops drumstick, and I'm coming from the vegetable store on the corner. Your daddy brought me this morning, but you look just like Evil Bestie, and you were singing. You ain't nothing but thunder. Something, not everybody who likes evil thing. You ain't nothing but a hello dog is evil. Have y'all been Lots of vegetables. No, no. Why? So, how people in the vegetables look like everyone's there. You ain't nothing but a hundred or 30 in a journal. I look my head, boy, I said. This is quite a shift for me, just when I see you grabbing my vegetable begin your travel said at the drum. Because it's just for me. Likewise, being yanked off the bed in the middle of the night. Ah, I was sleeping like a baby. No, you won't, I said. You are singing. Sometimes you sing mass lip, said the German. I never heard of anybody singing in lip. I said, have, have y'all heard of network or so? Sure. Well, I'm a lip singer, licking out of it. Oh, I'm really pretty. Here would your mind if I went back to sleep? I guess not, I said. So, you promise me something? What? Promise me or won't tell anybody but me. I have done what I need that's more again and see myself on the front of the page of the National Enquirer. Whatever you say, Elvis, I said, and a pious that's done. He said, anything else I can do for you? I asked, would you like someone other than Turnip company? You know what I'd really like, said John. What? I'd like to have me look for a rather new York City. Don't see the sound. If that ain't too much trouble. Sure, I said, and be much open for friendship. I'd also like to see Greenland. Look her, I said. Yeah, I think it may be this, I said. That's like 50,000 miles from you. There may be some other time, said the Turnip. As, as, as I ate cookies and drank my soda, Elvis told me more about his days growing up in the country trip. Tiny. When I finished my snack, I said goodnight. I drank him back inside the vegetable and up into my room. I still couldn't believe it. Elves was in the vegetable bin in my dad's refrigerator. Okay, so maybe he wasn't sickly himself. Just a turnip who was a son almost exact like it. As I fell back asleep, I could hear far up singing. At first, I couldn't make out what it was, but it came to me. It was lovely journey. The next morning, I walked to a timber town, trembling, but still know how familiar. At first, I couldn't think what it was. What it, then I knew. It was a sound of drumming crunching. I raced into the Right? I raced into kitchen that was standing quarter on his pajamas. He was wearing a headlock and listening to his Walkman. His What man? Okay. He had just turned on the electric juicer. One counter was some carrots, some celery, some vegetables I didn't recognize, and else turnip. Poor Elf was screaming his lungs out. Well, I don't know if Turnip has legs. Turnip has legs. But if they do, he will be screaming his out. That was getting ready to do self-juice. Help, said the Turnip. Don't make words. Dad, I said, stop. I couldn't hear me either. She picked up Elf's turned to him. Then I said, please stop. I'm all shook up here, yelled the granite. I I dove to the wall outlet. I pulled the plug on the juicer as the puffing toy was running. There! That you looked dirty. I took up his headphone. What are you doing? What are you doing? You doing? I said, making some vegetables juice, he said. He said, he said, why not did you yank the plug out of the wall? He started put the plug in there. No, Dad, stop. I said, you'll kill us. What? But then he drew out the juicer. If you turn it up, you'll be killing him. Else. Therefore, he reached about it from like a wheel. This is one little fishy. He said, with you, I was a gentleman. Dad, listen to me. I was a fisherman. I'm not stealing. You was trying to save Elf's life. You can't do that, said Dad. Why not? Elf has been there for more than 20 years. Not that Elves, I said. Not the Alps the singer. I'm singing trumpet. Didn't you sing here for hearing? Grandfather turned it that way. He started to open rings again. Don't tell me you're not me. Who was that? He said. I know you're very rich. Now listen to me. I said you chicken to cheese and cook outside. He was calling me careful. It rang in my head. This is no ordinary turnip, I said. This turnip and the name is name is Elvis. The big stalker stared at me. I said that he reached for the carrot on her pillow. What's the carrot name? Skimpy? Dad, I'm serious. The turnip's name is Elf. We met last night. He can talk dancing and everything. He can make juice out of it. That goes into love. Dad, I'm not kidding. I said the most beautiful voice. We've seen some really strange stuff together. Always after night and lived the other side of the magic cabin, and angry volcano goddess lived in me turning little cat, lived in me becoming invisible. Okay, why won't you believe the turnip cancer? Telling the child gave the ocean surfing from a surface. See, don't he look like yours? Just trying. Okay, I admit to very several percent, but I'm still not convinced. Everything needs something return to me. Sing something for my dad. He said returningly. Didn't make a sound. I'm listening something, but I'm not here. I do not want people to know he can sing. I said, if we don't start to sing before I count to ten, it's going to be one, two, three, four. Little baby left me. Well, found me told me with good Harry Potter is a version. Sure. His first hand was wrinkles. His upper lip was drawn up. Then from his corner to stay himself. He's not over wielding with me, but the drum singing Harry Potter was right off the stage. My lungs were troubled. I apple very nice. I said very, very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. But this is a clean down exactly like the king. After that climb down and up, I had a nice back. I seemed to be really excited about seeing someone things in the New York City. He never seemed to be fearful. Fearful. Kelsey most eventually going to the Hard Rock Cafe. It heard that he another new jumpsuit from the movie Lisa Let's Go. So around the lunchtime, and Elsa and I said goodbye to them. Then we had to turn to Red Rock Cafe. I don't know if you've ever been to the Red Rock Cafe. The best part of it was me is the Cadillac. There's a rear end of the Cadillac stick out of the wall of the front door. The, the Cadillac was this great tail thing. It looks like it flew through the air and crashed into a whole rock cafe. I loved it. Don't ask me why. I just do. Then was a long line to get in, but the guy got the door took the one that Elsie and let it right in away. I really like Hard Rock Cafe. He loved the girls on the walls and gold records mingled to the rock girls. And Gora could be from the rock stars. Marijuana means things that remind you some people. Stuff like earth or stuff with their name on it. And he spent a long time in front of the glass case with earthquake gems from dozens of little. Then he called out the tables. I was so sick of the health food. I ordered a big grassy cheeseburger with broccoli, onions. Also, a chocolate shake and a double order of this. Even didn't order anything. He just sat on the table and watched me eat. Probably Turnip don't eat food as we know it. Just when I took the first big bite of my burger, a man came over to our table. and he don't care and long hair. He had a white family, just of rhinestones and overlay. The man's pen was a better. He wrote the cake besides the permit with the man's many people laying these days. Hello there, young fella, he said to me. He said, I wasn't too dirty about talking to strangers. If you want to know the truth, especially little we're looking out with the cake. Allow me to introduce myself, he said. My name is Camille Valley Burburn. I have been in the world's biggest collector of art, not only about that's nice, is it? I wasn't being sarcastic. I really did. It was nice. If anything to do with it, said the corner, I got it. I got a quarter back from the referee section. This worked as a boy. I got wisdom from the telephone apps while talking to. I got a dinner menu done it. Cool, I said. I got a conjure here from the elf lab turban. I got another here from the elf library. I got another here in the restaurant. I said. He was starting to close me out. I took a turnip of his blood that a neatest bit of chicken fried steak still on the tip of it. I got a picture shoot worn by a friend to a double. Mm. Suddenly my burger wasn't looking so tasty anymore. I got enough mountain turnips at the corner. The trip is circulating in the same hills. I know, I said, and I smelled the turnip. I like to buy the turnip for you, so said the corner. I paid $100 to it and my order. This turnip isn't for sale, I said. I give you 11,000, said the corner. But not a penny more. Well, this guy was talking a big bag, but I just shook my head. I mean, who did he think wasn't anyway to me? This was more than a vegetable famous place. I wasn't about to let somebody take you your display case next to some those junky shirts. I told you, I said, the drum isn't for the sale. It's my friend. Here, you drive a hot drink, said the Colonel. It's we had a long moment. I'll give you 20,000, 21,000, said. But that's my final offer. Colonel Wilburn, I said. I already told you the term is not for sale. 26, the Colonel read to Kimberly. Is this guy bothering you? Maybe a little, I said. 27. Uh, 27 flat, said the Colonel. Leaves this boy a little body situated. I'll never take so far to dance, said the Colonel. The word no had been absolutely meaningful to me. Leave this boy alone, buddy, or you're out of here, said the lady. And left the word in the radio. Now, said Colin, but I still don't know what it means. That's it, said the lady. I'm calling the girl. I'm going, said Colin. But I want the turnip, kid. And I get one way or another. And he left the slap kid. That really gave me those one. Gone and out. If I had skin, I could continue talking stuff. I know I should have, but the way I noticed it Strange call about the help looked back. There was a pink Cadillac with a trophy. I'd never seen anything like it. Except when checking out of wardrobe with baby. The weird thing about the Cadillac was it was everywhere I did. When I turned left down the street, the pink Cadillac did too. When I stopped waiting for a light, the Cadillac did too. Two wholesale blocks away. When I got lost and wanted on the same block closer to Cadillac. No doubt about it, the pink Cadillac was definitely following me. When we got back to our apartment, I was pretty excited. Zach, did you realize what Elvis is like a stranger person? A cool man, I said. What do you mean? I said. You realize how big this is could be? That was immersive with Turnip. I read it about the huge bestseller, huge. We started to putting him on the defamation. You know how the white letter had a part of his show is called Stupid Patrick. You have to famous the vegetable trace. Maybe we can get us on his own TV talk show. Elvis very great, great vegetables, I said, as nodding. He don't want that kind of life that turned to the turnip from the first time. Is that sure? Said it. I think so, said the turnip. Sir, kind makes up. A part of me wants to be alone, create some music, but another part was planting record and snooping your problem. But why should we echo the TV? Well, for one thing, said that you have chance to tell the world your message. What is your message, by the way? I I don't really know said the drummer. How how I need a message. It isn't anything you have to tell me, making as like what? So like vegetable and building. Don't eat us. I should. Like vegetarians or animals. They come to be those circles nodding me. But they total silence. That could me. I hope you're not going to use this and exciting to stop eating your vegetables. If that I said, how could I never eat another vegetable after anything else? Come on. You're telling me and vegetables talk and see, just like elves. Sure, I said. I got a carrot from the food. Elf, why do you care about that thing? The carrot don't have a name song, said Petunia. Veggie toast, don't we? I said. I'm a new veggie. Are you? Until and the carrot and celery. You had been most of the night. Cooking different, just like our neighborhood. Right, goodness, I never forget the goodness of the food. Not to bring someone separately, but ain't nobody keeping anything beside me. The others are just a vegetarian. In fact, I ain't said Nobody to talk to a quiet spell before you. That is. Where did you learn to talk? That I I don't really know, said the Turnip. From the time I was a little old, sitting in the father burning as just a kid. And what were you learn to sing? Said the Yes, there is a rhythm. The phone has played the radio all day long. Most helps some Jaffa rock. Lonely Turtle. Let me be your teddy bear. After the I started humming along, and the rest of his story. Well, Elf, said the dad, I can invest in the part of you want to hear in the thing. Why not go to the leather issue a shell? Elf searched of his island while. There, said the Turnip. If you're already think as you then yes they don't bother. No, bother no. Just smile. And you could see from this smile why the world liked the key so much. Alright, let's do it. The journalist that had just run the into article in the TV got about the London J. Though he had come 6 days. He lodged from the tunnel with none of their talent people. Their name was Dan Penwelly. Out that and I took a cup of latter none of it. I wasn't sure, but I thought I said a couple following a penguin. A stumpy Rosalie sat behind the big desk setting the videotape. He wore a teeny round sunglasses properly. He had her own dress low. There were the potato farmer people all over the world. I didn't know most of them, but I recognized John O'Neill and people still stumping. I hear you have a pig gimlet, a turn apple to say. Which one of you guys is vegetables? No, my clones, I said. But Jeremy really sings. Right, said Danny. And Barry is a real dinosaur. I can speak for Barry, I said. I strip with real things. Whatever you say, just Danny. Okay, let's let's see. I thought of my project. Will, says Tommy. He really does look like it. His timbers, dinner, escape. I know, said. This was my idea. Then I made out the pistol wisely. All right, sister. Let's hear him sing. I turned to Tommy. Alfred said, you're not. Tommy didn't make a sound. Go on, Alfred said, sing. My father had a club of keep Tommy. Is this a puddle rice at the ceremony? He said. No, no one said. It's not put on, I swear. He turned to stand and said, your life will want the library show. In fact, we love Paul. I think we can use this for going back. But the problem really seems that the problem is that I love it. Steven on the show. Just then, Attorney Spirit began to sing. Love me thunder, love me true. All my dreams falling, he said. Still miss I popped down to feel almost right on her nose. He then he started laughing so hard I thought she was going to go. Finally, she stopped laughing and darted him. I don't know how you're pulling that stuff off, she said, but that's great. And can you be one show tonight? The president is supposed to come on, but I burned it. You're the president of the United States on the Turnip, I said. This is much better, Mr. May. Then you let us out of the office, but it's Queen at 6:30. As we left, we could still hear the chirping. Let's now leave the building, I said herself. We were so excited about the London show. There was already to be 5 o'clock. Dad and I dressed up like an elf portrait. We received everything and switching from the covered place. Dad had on a black leather jumpsuit. I had a metal cool one. It is kind of big on me and big into when Billy offered the cab. I thought I saw a pink Cadillac following us. But when we got to theater, I forgot about it. It was going to a major notebook too. After all, it was either finding a green room. So it was a room backstage where the guests waited. We were going to be on the show. You heard the sleepy doggy dog was going to look doggy dog. I told him to bring it back on the dog. As he liked to meet the girl. No, he's a pheasant. I said, the dog don't think that. Then I realized how that must have sounded to Lucasfilm. One of other guests, your planets was once testicle. She was stealing on the sofa next to me. He was very little. They didn't touch the floor. He was about the age of my grandma. Legend in a single. In fact, he reminded me of grandma who needs a lot. Why are you going to be doing on the show, dear? Mr. Celestine? I'm going to invite an attorney that is on the thing. I see, he said, but what does he think? Mostly the old faithful life. You ain't nothing but a turned up. You know, she said, I have never heard a turnip singing. You don't believe he sings, I said. I believe anything you want to tell me.
결과 읽었어? 그럼
Recently.
잠깐만, 괜찮아. 여기까지만 읽고 오늘은 챕터 7까지만 읽자.
Things are going dear gently purple state. Now I turn. I also think let's be near teddy bear and aims bigger to do female bands on the show tonight. The pony started after me a moment. And how does it make you feel? He said. Him. I'm not nervous, Mom, said Dr. Mick. Stay. At last, forever been on the TV before. You sure? I hope I don't stay freezer and freezer. Maybe I cannot help you with your nervous, dear. Perhaps, as I said, a pen Tagalog, I help people return problems. Pardon for asking. Then he said the S said the turnip, but what do I change? Tonight I'll put on the 13. You anything, said Mr. Hurry. But my office is got $200 an hour. Mercy, said Turnip. You know I'll submit to those. I don't get to talk to my permits in my program season. Beg your pardon, Mom, said the turnip, but this is a perch. I'm ain't your perch. I looked at the clock. It was almost time for us going. I gently reached nervous about taking on the searches. In fact, I was sweating like a crazy on furnace elsewhere. I expected her to from the room. I need to splash the water on my face. I reluctantly filled up with a dear pencil. We got back into the room and he started running. Okay, help some friend, he said. We are ready for your notebooks. They stopped. Hey, there is help. I look around. I didn't see up there. Their penny was on the sofa. I looked around. Your pencil. Do you know where Elvis? Well, he told me he was building a little SDE, so I think we might work outside for a bit to fresh air. He couldn't have worked them anywhere, said he doesn't have a fees. Oh no, dear, I don't mean the Turnip with the thing. I mean the man in the white cape with the dirt whistle coaster and those black sunglasses. A white cape, a wristlet, a big dog sunglasses. Uh-oh, I remember. She pretty girl from the Hard Rock Cafe. She startled before she was inside the pink Cadillac I'd seen. The comic label version bird, and I will flash her name out and thinking that. That's end of the chapter 7. Goodbye.
Okay.